Selena Gomez snubs her kidney donor Francia Raisa at her wedding. The truth behind their broken friendship. Selena Gomez just had the wedding of her dreams. A private, picture-perfect ceremony in Santa Barbara surrounded by celebrities, love, and luxury. But fans couldn't help noticing one shocking absence. The woman who literally saved her life, her kidney donor, Francia Raisa, wasn't there. Not only that, but the timing of Francia's recent interview and the cryptic things she said have people wondering if this friendship is gone for good. Did Selena really leave out the one person who gave her a second chance at life? Or is there more to this story than fans realize? Stay tuned, because the full truth behind this friendship fallout is far messier than anyone imagined. The friendship that became a lifeline. Before all the drama, Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa were inseparable. They weren't just best friends, they were family. Back in 2017, Selena was battling lupus, a life-threatening autoimmune disease that had already started shutting down her kidneys. Doctors told her she needed a transplant immediately, but finding a match can take years. Then, out of nowhere, Francia stepped up. She said, "No, I'm absolutely getting tested." Within 3 days, she did the impossible. She turned out to be a perfect match. Selena later said that asking someone to donate was too painful to even imagine, but Francia volunteered on her own. And when both women shared that photo from their hospital beds, hands clasped, bandages visible, the world broke down in tears. Fans called it the ultimate act of friendship. It wasn't just an organ donation. It was symbolic, proof that love, loyalty, and sisterhood could exist in Hollywood. But as time passed, something shifted. Because that same friendship that started with sacrifice, ended with silence. From sisterhood to cold distance. Let's fast forward to 2022. Selena had been thriving again, releasing music, growing rare beauty, becoming one of the most followed women on Instagram. But when her Rolling Stone interview dropped, it sent a shockwave through her fanbase. Selena said, quote, "I never fit in with a cool group of girls that were celebrities. My only friend in the industry is Taylor Swift." And the internet immediately froze. Because if Taylor was her only friend, then where did that leave Francia, the woman who literally gave her a kidney? Francia saw the quote, and her reaction was just one word: interesting. Then she deleted the comment. But by then, it was too late. Fans screenshotted it, reposted it, and chaos erupted online. One viral tweet said, "Imagine giving your best friend a kidney, and she says her only real friend is Taylor Swift." That's wild. The moment exposed a rift that had apparently been brewing for years, one the public never noticed. And what made things worse? Selena's reaction. When a TikTok accused her of shading Francia, she responded with sarcasm. "Sorry, I didn't mention every person I know." That one comment, it made everything worse. Fans started calling Selena ungrateful and out of touch. Question for you guys. If you were Francia, would you feel betrayed? Or is Selena being unfairly judged for one careless comment? The wedding snub heard around the world. Now, let's talk about the event that reignited everything: Selena Gomez's wedding to Benny Blanco. It was elegant, exclusive, and overflowing with A-listers. Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Nina Dobrev, Martin Short, everyone who's ever been in Selena's orbit seemed to be there. But fans noticed immediately. Francia Raisa was missing. And not just missing, completely unacknowledged. No tag, no thank you, not even a quiet mention. For a woman who once risked her life for Selena, that absence felt like an emotional slap in the face. The internet lit up, comments poured in. Not inviting the person who gave you an organ to your wedding is next level cold. Selena wouldn't even be here to get married without Francia. How do you forget your literal lifesaver? Others tried to defend Selena, saying, it's her wedding. She gets to choose who's there. But the general mood online was brutal. The public had decided this was more than a snub. It was proof that the friendship never recovered. And that brings us to Francia's recent interview, because her timing couldn't have been more suspicious. Francia speaks, but doesn't forgive. Just days before the wedding, Francia sat down for an interview with journalist Maggie Ortiz, and fans couldn't believe the coincidence. When asked whether she was still angry about Selena drinking or smoking after the transplant, Francia's answer was subtle, but loaded. She said, "What you're asking me is nonsense. There are too many rumors. I've never said anything. At first, it sounded calm, maybe even neutral. But that phrase, "I've never said anything," hit differently. It felt like a quiet warning. Like she was holding something back. And when the interviewer pressed further, Francia smiled politely and ended it with, "One day, maybe we'll address it." Fans caught the tone instantly. It didn't sound like closure. It sounded like a promise. Because, let's be real, if you've moved on, you don't say, "One day, we'll address it." You say, "It's all good." Do you think Francia's silence is protecting Selena's image, or is she waiting for the right moment to finally expose what really happened? The rumors, the drinking, and the fallout. Now here's where it gets messy, and honestly, painful. For years, there have been rumors that the real reason behind their fallout was Selena's lifestyle after the transplant. In 2023, Francia's father, Renan Almendarez Coelho, went on a Spanish talk show and said what fans had been whispering for years, that Francia confronted Selena about drinking after the transplant. He claimed his daughter told Selena directly, "I didn't give you a kidney so you could go out and drink." That quote spread like wildfire. And even though Francia never confirmed or denied it, fans took her silence as a quiet admission that something had gone down. But the real heartbreak came later, when Francia revealed how brutal the online backlash had become. She said in an interview, "Now I'm being bullied. It's really bad. People were sending her horrific messages. One even said, 'I hope someone rips out your other kidney.'" Think about that. The woman who literally saved Selena Gomez's life is getting harassed for not smiling enough about it. At that point, it stopped being about who's right and who's wrong, and started being about how toxic fandoms can be. The contrast between their lives. Now, here's where things get even deeper. While Selena's out here celebrating her new marriage, releasing makeup lines, and living the dream life, Francia's been quietly healing from her own battles. In 2024, she revealed on TikTok that she'd been diagnosed with ADHD and chronic PTSD. She said, "3 months ago, I learned I have ADHD and chronic PTSD. Since then, I've been in intense therapy, learning, unlearning, and healing." She even admitted that dancing, something that once brought her joy, had become a trigger after a painful breakup. But here's the emotional gut punch. Through all of this, Selena hasn't been there. The woman who once called Francia her beautiful friend has been completely silent. Fans say it feels like their friendship flipped. When Selena needed help, Francia was there, even risking her life. But now that Francia is the one struggling, Selena is nowhere in sight. The bigger picture: has Selena changed? At this point, even die-hard fans are asking a tough question: has fame changed Selena Gomez? Because when you line up the patterns, the quiet fallouts, the disappearing friendships, the subtle contradictions, it starts to paint a complicated picture. Selena's image has always been that of kindness and authenticity. She promotes mental health, preaches compassion, and often says she's all about forgiveness. But her actions don't always match that message. Francia, the woman who saved her life, no longer in her circle. Demi Lovato, once her childhood best friend, long gone. Even close collaborators, like producers and stylists, seem to rotate in and out of her life quietly. It raises an uncomfortable but fair question: is Selena outgrowing people, or is she simply cutting ties when they stop serving her image? Fans have started calling it the Selena cycle. She connects deeply, preaches love, then moves on without looking back. Of course, no one really knows what goes on behind closed doors. Maybe Selena's protecting her peace. Maybe Francia crossed boundaries. Or maybe both women are just human, hurt, misunderstood, and struggling to navigate friendship under a microscope. Here's the thing. Whether or not Selena and Francia ever reconcile, this story says a lot about Hollywood friendships, how love can turn into loyalty tests, and gratitude can get lost in fame. Because when you look at where they started, hospital beds, holding hands, and where they are now, it's tragic. Selena Gomez may have walked down the aisle surrounded by stars, but somewhere out there, the person who gave her a second chance at life was watching from afar, probably with a heavy heart. So what do you think? Was Selena wrong for not inviting Francia to her wedding, or are fans overreacting? Is this just a friendship that ran its course, or is Selena protecting secrets we haven't heard yet? Drop your thoughts below, because this debate isn't going away anytime soon. And before you go, don't miss our next Celeb Juices deep dive. Hailey Bieber's secret connection to Selena Gomez's wedding, the drama no one saw coming. Trust me, that one's even messier.